computer because then. Hi, I'm Christy from the Multi-Sensory Reading Center, and today we're talking with Andrea Gallo. Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
I'm so glad to have you with us and to get to know you a little better. You're one of our top therapists, so
Wow. Thank you. What a lovely compliment.
yeah, I want to hear some things here. All right, so why don't you just kind of let us get to know you? Tell us a little bit about your education and experience.
Okay. Well, like a lot of people, I think my path to here was long and windy. So I'm going to give you the short version. College, George Washington University, political science major. Almost minored in English lit. I took a lot of English literature because I just loved it. But I think I was short as an official accredited minor. And then immediately to law school because I thought that's where my path would take me. After practicing law after graduation, I really found that I was lacking joy in my work. I didn't really enjoy it. I did plaintiff's work, I did defense work, I went to corporate intellectual property and complex litigation, which was actually more interesting, but it wasn't enough. So I took a moment and thought about something to try to do something different. So I went and got my master's in education and thought at some point I would turn to teaching. And that has eventually led me to my current status as a certified structured literacy dyslexia specialist.
All right, and that was my next question. How did you come to be involved in structured language therapy?
That's also an interesting path. I mean, it really all happened when I became a mom. I'm a mom of twins. They were 2 months premature, and as a result of the challenges they were born into, I had to become an expert on their needs. It was new to me, despite having a master's in education. I didn't really have a deep understanding of special needs and what the skills were involved for them in order to learn. So I took my research skills as an attorney and my background knowledge that I earned in my master's program and did a deep dive into special needs and became an advocate for my sons. As an advocate for my sons, I then turned into an advocate for other families at the same time. I shared my expertise with other families. And as a result of that, developed an advocacy business. I was finding throughout my advocacy practice that I had an extraordinary number of students with dyslexia. It was higher than any other disability that I was faced with addressing. So I became, I was knowledgeable about programs based on science and research, what was an appropriate program, what the students would need in a school to make them successful, but I didn't really understand what it took to remediate these issues. And I felt that I owed it to my own children, as well as my other children in my advocacy practice, to learn more. And so I did the research. I went back to school, did my practicum, and eventually ended up with my certification because it was just made me a better advocate. But I will tell you, I still do this work because it's really joyful. I enjoy this. So I maintain both my advocacy practice and the structured literacy instruction.
Wow. Wow. Well, hey, then what kinds of challenges that learning different kids have do you feel that you're able to address successfully? I mean, you kind of sort of answered that, but what specific challenges do you find that you as a structured literacy therapist are able to address?
That's an interesting question. I think they're very similar for all of us, to be honest. I think the first biggest hurdle that we all face is low self-esteem. A lot of the students come to us with very low self-esteem. They've faced challenges, and in some instances, other than their parents, were the only other adult that told them they were smart and capable and able to do this work. And so that takes a lot of care and nurturing. We talk about their challenges and what it's going to take to remediate that. Well, I remove the shame for the kids. We remove the shame so they don't feel bad about making mistakes. We really tell them mistakes are okay, they're good, this is how we learn. Another issue that we face with our students is the sense of perfectionism, the level of perfectionism. I see these kids, oh, they want to just perfect. I want to be perfect. I got to get it right. And if they don't get it right, sometimes that leads to an emotional response. And teaching them that it's okay to not be perfect, that none of us are perfect. I kind of let them see me make mistakes so they can say, oh, wow, Mrs. G, you made a mistake. That's a good thing. They need to see that adults make mistakes and nothing really horrible is going to happen as a result. And I would say lastly, the other challenge that I face, which I think we also do, is teaching them the consistency of work practice, right? Because if they are dyslexic, if they have disabilities, these children have to learn that they are going to become marathon runners, right? This is a long process. It's not a fast and easy process, and it requires commitment and consistency over a long period of time. And that can be hard for, especially our younger children. And it can be harder for my older teens because they haven't had that before, right? So those to me are the big three.
All right. Okay. Now, I've had clients tell me how engaging you are during sessions. Okay. So tell me some of the ways you customize your sessions to hold their interest. Other
Wow,
than
that's
your
cute.
other than your sparkling personality, which is obvious, but
That's really sweet. Thank you. It's lovely to hear. I do really enjoy my clients. I think because honestly, I come to this honestly because I'm the mom of twin boys. When you have that experience, it's just a natural progression to be able to share that. And I think it comes through naturally. I do have a lot of teen boys. Middle school, high school boys as my student population, and I can relate to them and connect to them as a mom of teen boys. I would also say I'm just really honest with them. I don't sugarcoat things as much when they're little, a little bit more, but when they're older, I say, okay, this is what has to get done, right? Hold them accountable for the work that has to be done. And they work harder. They really want to reach those goals if you have real conversation with them. I think kids understand that, that they want to do well. They really do. A lot of these kids that come here, they just want to do well. And we have those really good conversations. We joke a lot. We play a lot of games. I lose a lot of tic-tac-toe.
yeah.
Right. And and I recognize when we're having good days and bad days. So if we're having a bad day, we'll throw in some extra games, take a little relaxed approach to things. If we are very emotional, we step away from the practice and have a little conversation or a deep breath. And then on the good days, I may push them a little bit harder to take advantage of that time. And hopefully that is all engaging.
I mean, that's good that you're very cognizant of their mood of the day, and sometimes able to get them out of that funk too sometimes. Yeah.
We all do. We all do that.
Yeah. Well, Andrea, thank you so much. We really appreciate hearing everything here. It was very fascinating. So thank you so much. All right, we're going to say
Thanks so much for
goodbye.
asking.
Okay. Now.